Welcome to the Rock and Review. I'm thrilled to have on two incredible musicians. I know you've seen them in concert, you know their music, and now they've got their own band with Rattlebone. It is Chris Anderson and Johnny Neel. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
You know, it's so funny. You know, I'm a huge fan of Southern rock, and so I think I've seen you guys in probably virtually every band you've been in, between the Allman Brothers, the Outlaws, Greg Allman, Dickey Betts, and Grinderswitch, Chris.
Yeah. Now you're going way back.
Yeah, but you know what great music, and I think it's incredible, you know, with all the studio work you both do here in Nashville and working with so many other musicians, how you brought this together with your own band with Rattlebone. And really, I can hear the influences, but it's great to hear some rock and roll coming out, Chris.
Oh, it's great to be playing it. You know, I've been playing the same songs with the Outlaws for years, and you know, with that band, you have to stick to a certain format, you know, for the songwriting, and it's kind of limiting, you know,
Right.
and kind of feel like you got one arm tied behind your back a lot of times. So.
Well, especially as accomplished as you are on guitar, and obviously you played, you know, Strats and Les Pauls over the years, but also you've been playing a few Paul Reed Smiths lately.
Paul's been very good to me over the years, and I have several Paul Reed Smith guitars, and they are about my favorites, really.
Wow.
I mean, you can open up the case after it's been sitting in there for months, and it's still perfectly in tune.
That's amazing.
He's just a wizard when it comes to guitar design, and you know, I'm proud to be playing him and proud to be his friend.
Definitely, definitely. Well, and Johnny, I want to talk about you because, you know, from Good Clean Fun, which was a huge hit, you've done a lot of work with Hammond B3 and between Wurlitzer and piano. Now you're producing artists with your studio. But you told me before we came down to the studio that a lot of this album was done live.
Yeah, we tried to keep it that way. You know, it makes it feel more honest. And yeah, we did a couple overdubs, but basically we just worked through it and arranged it. And some of them actually we didn't arrange, and it just kind of, you know, fell into place. That's the best part. I like to improvise, and I think that's what I really get off on as far as the music. You know, I mean, I don't mind arranging stuff, but when you don't know where you're going, it's more fun. You know
Well, you can tell that
Sure
you and Chris have known each other and played together a long time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, especially on the final track, I'll Be Loving You, the instrumental interplay between you guys is amazing. And I mentioned Johnny Walker Red. What a great bluesy song on that one, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
And then you guys with The World's Gone Crazy. Johnny, how did you and Chris kind of come up with that song? Because it definitely speaks to how the world is today.
Well, I think he pretty much had the lyric idea, and I think it went to a couple different places to go, but we ended up, like you said, very timely. And
Watching Fox News,
Yeah.
and you know, writing a song about it,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, you know, and I think that's what's so much fun about, you know, the rock that you guys are doing with this. And we were talking about younger bands like Greta Van Fleet and everything, but also, you know, with the Allman Brothers not playing anymore, and so many great bands that you guys have been in, and you know, are just not on the road. Did you feel that there was a need to get out there and bring some rock and roll back to the world?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much, I mean, music has changed so much over the years, and I guess, you know, it was the same for us, you know. We didn't want to listen to our parents' music.
Right.
And kids these days want to feel like they have their own music.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing to see kids, younger artists, you know, going back and looking back at what was there and about those great records and great bands of that era, and you know, trying to elaborate on that now.
Oh, yeah.
It's so nice to see that.
Well, you know, we were talking about it, and obviously both of you have played with and are friends with Warren Haynes. It's like he's a monster, and he's out, you know, between Government Mule and his solo work.
He's the hardest working man in show business, I think.
I think you guys are, though, too, between all the studio work. How are you balancing that between, you know, working in the studio, producing artists, and then also going out with Rattlebone?
We're actually doing a session when we leave here at noon.
yeah, I got this little EP I'm putting out just to keep some of my tunes out there. I hadn't done anything in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's just a little EP besides Rattlebone, and that's what we're cutting today.
That's awesome. So you guys like write and do studio work like virtually every day?
Well, not every day, but every chance we get.
And we would do it every day if we had the chance.
Right.
Absolutely.
But it's good to have a balance. You know, I can't do one thing. Like, I can't do studio work all the time.
Yeah.
And I have to go out and play live. So you have to have that balance, man. I know it's not, I'll be home for a little while. I'm going, man, I got to get out of here. And then I get out there and go, man, I wish I was home in my own bed, you know. So you got to have that thing going back and forth, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I got to tell you, Johnny, it's the way you play a Hammond B3 is just amazing. And I enjoy hearing you on piano and Wurlitzer too. But that B3, man, there's nothing warmer. That just sort of fills that space.
It's the glue. It's like glue, you know. I can hold one note, man, that guy's good. You know, it kind of holds everything
You know what,
together.
though? It's like the blues, though. It's knowing what note to hold.
Yeah. A lot of people don't hold notes anymore. They play all of them.
Right. Well, and you were saying, too, before we came down to the studio, Johnny, that on the road and everything, when they can't bring in a Hammond B3 for you, you've been using the Nord a lot also.
I have. I like them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, especially for a studio musician like yourself, that's pretty much a go-to tool, right?
Yeah, and they only weigh like a pound and a half.
You can carry it under
Just
one arm.
just like a B3, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need any special wooden handles or anything to hold a B3, do you?
No, you know what's funny? When you know, back in the day, as they say, all the clubs, most of the clubs that were back then were on the second floor.
Oh, yes.
You know, so you'd have to carry that dang thing all the way up the steps. My band hated me. I didn't do
But it was worth it.
You know, it
Yeah,
was.
you know, I agree with Chris. Tonally, you can't beat it.
It's still one of my favorite instruments ever.
Yeah, the sound of it, it just warms you from inside. And I got to bring up for you, Chris. You know, I know you're a tube amp guy like myself, but you have been using a new product lately that's a little bit lighter as well for the road and studio.
Yeah, I've been using a Kemper Profiler, and I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but all of my amps are in it, and I haven't switched them on since they've been in it.
Really?
It really sounds exactly like the real thing. It just captures the DNA of your amp, and I can take it on the airplane with me and have my sound wherever I go.
That is
And
amazing.
It's really been, and it's got all the effects and everything in it that you need.
Yeah.
So I got rid of a pedal board, got rid of a heavy tube head.
Right. Just
And,
like Johnny, right? I mean, it's like you got to go with, if you can still get your sound and your tone.
Yeah, if technology is there, you might as well use it if it sounds good.
Exactly. Well, you know, and I definitely want to bring up with Rattlebone, I love the artwork. We talked about that earlier too, Chris, to where a friend of yours did the artwork on the cover. Who did this?
A friend of mine, Carlos Rodriguez, helped me with that. He's an actual artist, other than he's a guitar tech. He worked for Dickey Betts and the Allman Brothers for a long time,
I know the name.
tuning guitars. He's a great guitar player as well. But he's very talented, and we came up with the design together. He actually did it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't draw stick figures.
Don't feel bad, neither can I.
Me either.
But I just think it looks great. Well, and I wanted to bring up, too, that, you know, while you guys are going to be on tour this year, and obviously, you know, viewers and fans can go to the website. What's the website to hit?
Rattlebone.net.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have social media on Facebook, Rattlebone.
You know, and Johnny was saying that, you know, anywhere you download music and stream it, you can find it as well.
It's
And
on most of the digital outlets as well.
But I highly recommend the hard copy. And I think Johnny said that when you guys are out on tour this year, if people want it autographed too, you guys will be having some CDs at the shows.
Oh, yeah.
And signing those as well. And nice pictures of the band too.
Definitely, pictures, CDs, all the merch. I mean, that kind of helps you, you know, pay for the gas for
Yeah.
the bus.
You got to keep rocking, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, you guys did such an incredible job with this album, and I'm glad you put it together, and with the musicians you worked with, and the backup vocalist that you brought on for this. Oh my gosh, her voice.
That's Sean Murphy,
Oh, yeah.
and she sings for Bob Seger. She sang for Eric Clapton. She's got her own band, and she's just amazing.
I wish you guys could have brought in a few more talented people on this album. I mean, if you knew anybody, right?
Dennis Gully plays bass, and Daryl Burgess plays the drums.
Wow.
And that's who Johnny uses a lot of times on sessions.
Yeah,
and
that's what we.
that's who was on the CD I was referring to
Yeah.
earlier.
That's just amazing. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of Southern rock or just rock and roll, you've heard these guys so many times over the years in so many different bands. Pick up a copy of Rattlebone. World's Gone Crazy. I think you're going to love all the songs on here. But more than that, go see them live and pick up a signed copy, and I think you're going to enjoy it even more. Thanks for watching The Rock and Review.